Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Proline, direct from Las Vegas, the gaming capital of the world. It's week one of the NFL season. I'm John Cranton, joined by Las Vegas handicappers Hollis Barnhart and Zach Simony. We're going to look at the upcoming games for week one of the NFL season. But first, let's tell you what we have going on. Hollis, you're on that sizzling run for August, 17-6, 74%. Possibly when you were on the show last week, you had that best bet winner. What do you have coming up for this weekend?
Well, this weekend, I've got that 3 for the money is what I call it. You know, I've loved that something, I think it came from a movie or something, 3 for the money. But anyway, I'm going to have it Saturday with my college. It's going to include my opening, shocker, upset, non-conference game of the year. And the reason I say that, I don't want to think, I'm going to have a game of the year every single week, opening week or anything. But let me tell you something. You've got to understand that you can't wait and just move right into this thing and ease into it. This is going to be a shocker. This is going to be an upset. This is something because the books made a big mistake on some of these opening line moves and things like that, and you got to capture that. So let's go out. Let's call it what it is. It's a game of the year. It's just like the best bet winner I gave on Virginia last week. Look at that. It was plus 21 points. If UCLA hadn't scored 3 opening defensive touchdowns, the score they would never even have 21, and that would have been a 21-point upset winner straight up. Get the cash. So let's do it. It's only $45. You can get it. I'll have it downloaded or uploaded for you immediately before the lines move. But let's get all over this. So it's 3 for the money, including my college opening week shocker of the year.
All right, and Zach Simony joining us. Zach, I know you really enjoyed that week one of the college football season, hitting 75% of your plays, 3-1. Congratulations, and what do you have on tap for this coming week?
Well, I'm going to put up another 4-game package this Saturday for college football. It should be about $40, and what I'm looking to do is we're going to continue to go after some underdogs, as we did last week. And what we kind of saw last week in the top 25, some teams were able to stave off being losing, but we did see some high point spreads covered, and I think we'll see some of that again, and maybe we'll see even a little shakeup in the top 25.
Okay, and Jim Feist certainly enjoyed the weekend, too, on a sizzling run. He hit that game of the month, Colorado State. That was a rivalry game of the month Friday night. He was 2-0 with college football totals. He's also 2-0 with NFL preseason totals, and he has a big one going on the Sunday week one card. Plus, make sure you check out his NFL high roller dog pound play for week one. Jim was 10-5 all of last season with these plays. They're $250 a piece. However, you can get it on JimFeist.com for just $99 if you get it before Friday. Make sure you go there and check. And if you want to go to JimFeist.com, see that football helmet in the lower left, just click on that. That is a link to the site. Okay, guys, let's get into our first game going on Thursday. It's the NFL opener. You got the Packers playing the Seahawks. It's the game that really nobody wants to go to Seattle, the toughest place in the NFL to play. Seattle 38-18-1 against the spread at home, but there's always that defending champion hangover to certainly consider. And remember, a year ago, the Ravens played Denver in that opening game. The defending champs got smoked by Denver in a blowout loss. So here's a game where the Seahawks opened 5, and it's now up to 6, and the total went from 45 to 46. We always see the public liking to lean toward betting the favorites and betting the over, and that's certainly happening here in week one. You know, this Green Bay offense, which will be coming into town, very impressive last year as far as balance. They were 6th in the NFL in passing behind quarterback Aaron Rodgers, who didn't even play the whole season. He had 17 touchdowns, 6 picks, and the ground game might surprise people, was 7th in the NFL, mainly behind Eddie Lacy. So this team has tremendous balance. If you're going to take on a team like Seattle and try and score on this magnificent defense, you probably want to have some balance on the offense. And this Green Bay team, not covering numbers a year ago, Harvard, 6-2-1 against the spread, but this is going to be no ordinary defense that they're going to be facing here in Seattle.
Well, I'll tell you, one thing that you said about who the public likes to bet, they like to bet on the team that they last watched. What their eyes saw last was Seattle blowing out in the Super Bowl, and that's the last thing they remember, and that's where they think they're going to pick up. And I disagree with that. I think Green Bay taking the +6 is the absolute nuts. Right now, the betting is 50-50. Now, you're going to hear over the next course of the season me talking a lot about the betting and the following the money. The money line is +190. There's a lot of action on taking Green Bay straight up to win this game. I know that the Seattle Seahawks have that 12th man in their fans, but that's about all they have. I think that propels them more than anything else that they have. They have a very strong secondary, granted. But if anybody can pick apart, or not like he's going to pick apart, but if anybody can handle a strong secondary, it's going to be a healthy Aaron Rodgers. Randall Cobb is healthy. Their offensive line is healthy. Don Capers, their defensive coordinator. When you get over to the defense, he's made a lot of the schemes a lot easier. They added Julius Peppers. Now, John talked a lot about how strong Seattle is at home. They're 17-1 the last 18 games at home, but they're only 12-6 against the spread. So the bookmakers, they understand that a lot of money is going to be coming in on the Seattle Seahawks home opener, and that's when I like to go the opposite way. It's going to be a low-scoring game. They're going to have to go with Eddie Lacy. He's a great young runner, and if there's any weakness, is going to be against the run for the Seattle defense. Their cornerbacks, their secondary is very, very strong, but it's going to be a good battle that a veteran like Aaron Rodgers can handle. So Aaron Rodgers versus the strength of Seattle's secondary, and then Eddie Lacy against that run. And then on the other side, I don't think the offense for Seattle is anything to write home about. If you remember last year, they were 26th in passing. So if there's any weaknesses against Green Bay in their secondary, I think going against a 26th ranked team in the passing would overcome that. So let's start off this game with the Green Bay Packers taking the plus 6 points. I think that's the absolute nuts.
Yeah, Seattle's more of a run-first offense, so Hollis is leaning toward the dog in that one. The Seattle team has been great, not just last year, but 2 years. 25-9 straight up, 26-8 against the spread the last 2 years. The home numbers are remarkable, 17-1 straight up, 12-6 ATS. Obviously, that lone loss was recently. It was one of their late games in December against Arizona that they lost at home. But still, this team was not a fluke, if anybody thinks that. Last year, Seattle outscored opponents by 186 points. That was tops in the NFC, and it was second only to Denver in the entire NFL. And there's your two teams who met in the Super Bowl. So the two best teams did meet last year, and you know how that one turned out. So, Zach, here's a team that is on a 7-0 run under the total. They're 8-2 under the total in September, but they face this very potent Green Bay passing attack. How do you see this matchup for Week 1?
Well, it's going to be interesting. I know a lot of the analysts have been talking about the new penalties and new rules, and that's going to affect the whole league, especially Seattle. There's been a lot of penalties being called on the cornerbacks and secondaries. But I expect that to be eased back a little bit, especially opening day, Thursday, and that's where we're going to see the same strong Seattle defense that we've come to know. Aaron Rodgers, of course, he can sling the ball, throw the ball all over the field, but the main problem that's been with this team the last 2 to 3 years has been their defense. And where was Seattle's biggest progression last year? Towards the end of the season, we saw Russell Wilson step his game up. He became a much better passer. They started opening up the passing game and utilizing their assets. With Percy Harvin healthy now, this team should be able to exploit offensively and get that lead early on and carry that over to the second half. I think we're going to see something similar to last year's opening game with Baltimore and Denver. Close game in the first quarter. Looks good on the underdog, and then it just starts to sway.
It certainly did, yeah. Here's a game where I'm going to lean toward the total in this one. In this day and age, the rules favor the passing game and points. We know that. And this Green Bay defense had a lot of trouble last year, a lot of youth, and they were suspect. They finished 25th against the run. They were 24th against the pass, and then they had the recent injury to B.J. Raja. That's certainly a problem coming in here. And they also made some changes. Don Capers is going to simplify the schemes. That's going to take some time to work on, so we're not sure how much improved the Packers' defense is, if it's going to be improved at all. And the Packers on offense, you're going to have to be aggressive against a defense like Seattle. That's going to mean no huddle, which they're used to doing anyway. And when you have up-tempo games like that against great defenses, you can have a lot of turnovers. That sets up field position for the offense, and a lot of incomplete passes, stops the clock. Could be a longer game than normal. So I look at this as a higher scoring opening game, just like last year, the one you mentioned, Zach. The total on that game a year ago was 48 when Denver played the great defense of the Ravens, and forget it, 49-27 final, plus Green Bay is 8-2 over the total on the road. I'm going to take the over in that Thursday night game between the Packers and Seattle.